Hey friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry. I'm surrounded by generators. Now you may know that we have backups to backups. I have a backup generator to the primary generator. The primary generator won't start. I think I know the reason why, but I'm going to have to start taking it apart and dig into it to figure it out. So let's get started with that. Now I'm going to start by removing the spark plug. I suspect there's an issue with the spark plug. It hasn't been out. I have to pull out the rubber boot, it looks like. Now that doesn't want to come out. But it has to come out. So and the boot started to tear when I was taking it out. And I'll have to get a new one. Boy, that's in there. See if I can get a little more leverage on it. Yeah, there it broke loose. Wow, that's pretty tight in. Well, the plug itself isn't too bad. It is suited up quite a lot. That could cause it to short out. I'm going to replace this plug anyway. I'm going to use this iridium spark plug. It's an NGK. It's a very expensive plug. I think it's about $15. But it should allow this generator to run a lot more smoothly. Once I get it to start, that is. I'm going to torque that spark plug down, but I'm not going to tighten it as much as it was. That should be good. I'll put this old boot back on. I know it's split, but I'll have to order one to replace it. There you go. I'm not sure that's all the way on. Doesn't feel like it's on. It isn't. I think I'm going to take this boot back off and do a quick test to see if replacing that spark plug helps at all. I don't think it's going to be the whole story, but at least it's one step done. That boot's off. And that's on for sure. Well, as you may be able to hear in the background, that generator is running. I'm letting it run for about 15 minutes so that the oil warms up, and I'll do an oil change. That's pretty easy. Glad I could get it going. Now I have a primary generator and a backup generator again. I want to talk a little bit about the way we've mounted this Starlink mast. I have two pieces of unistrut that are attached to the concrete block of our utility building. Each of those pieces of strut are held in with 3 or 4 Tapcon screws. Each of those screws can hold 500 pounds. So we have about 1.5 tons of holding capacity for that little bitty antenna. I've attached the Starlink ground mount pole to the unistrut with bolts and unistrut nuts. I could hang off of this if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. I like staying on the ground.
A few moments later.
Now I've just put a little load on that generator. It's not going to be a lot, but I do want to have a little bit of a load on it to make the generator heat up a little bit. And I'm giving our batteries a boost at the same time. We're getting okay solar. It's been a bit overcast today. Now, changing the oil on this generator is a bit of a messy process. The oil actually drains out through the bottom of the generator, but it doesn't go through a channel. It just oozes out. So let me see if I can see the plug, and we'll pull the plug. Oh, there it is. Another thing that's tightened way too much. I'm going to see if I have a bigger wrench set. I do. I'll see if my sockets fit. That's a 10mm bolt. But unfortunately, my longer ratchet handle is not going to fit. So we'll go back to the smaller one and see if I can avoid busting my knuckles. Oh, boy, that's on there tight. That's really tight. I think I'll go see if I can find an extension so I get my hand outside of that generator. That's a little better. Hopefully I didn't break it. I have an aluminum pan underneath this pallet to catch the oil when it starts coming out. And there it goes. That's hot. Whew. They had some kind of gorilla putting this thing together. Now there's a couple of reasons why this generator is up on the pallet. One is to do the oil change, but the other one is because the air for this generator comes up from underneath. And this is all dust. And I don't want to be putting dust back up into the generator. It's still draining. We'll let it go for a while. And it looks like the oil's done draining out. So I'm going to put this plug back in. It's still hot. Woo. Time to get my fingers burned, I guess. Yeah, that started. Now let's tighten it back up. That should be tight enough. Time to grab some oil. Now we keep oil on hand in large containers because we have a lot of small engines that require oil changes and topping up. And I want to fill it up, but I don't want to overfill it because some of these engines can have real problems if you overfill them. Kind of like on your car. Yep, there's plenty of room. And I think that has it now. We'll see. Oh yeah, we're done. I'm going to wipe off any oil that's here from the oil change so I can see if there's any leaks. No leaks so far. I'm going to go ahead and run this generator for another 10 or 15 minutes and come back and check to see if there's any leaks developed. I don't think there will be, but I want to give it a shot anyway. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to put this side right back on the generator. Now you wouldn't think that this is a really important piece of equipment, but it is, because what this does is this is the rest of the sound enclosure to keep the sound down while the generator's running. All right, let's give it a shot.